gonna be
Welcome
fun.
back to the what?
Before we even get started, this whole podcast is doomed because you're wearing that stupid shirt.
No, you can't even really see it, so just whatever. Okay, welcome back to the Are We Over podcast, the Wrestlemania edition, and this, of course, is Wrestlemania week. WrestleMania 37 is this Saturday and Sunday, the 10th and 11th, and it will be live from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. And of course, it is making the big move from the WWE network to Peacock network, and you do need to have Peacock Plus to be able to watch that. So everybody will be making that change, I'm assuming.
Already did.
It will be live with fans, 25 up to 25,000 fans, which is 36% of the capacity of Raymond James Stadium. So they'll be spread out, socially distanced, and all that fun stuff. Masks are going to be required, and they're going to do temperature checks. So everything kicks off on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time with the kickoff show, and then the main show starts at 7, and that is for both days. So as usual, our panel tonight consists of Jimmy tonight going as the Phenom.
I am the Phenom.
And we have the Deaf Chef.
I am the grill boss.
And I'm Kim Sparkles, and I will be your host tonight.
Terrible, wearing the shirt of the worst wrestler of all time.
I am wearing the Randy Orton shirt, but only because it's the only current wrestling shirt that I have from WWE.
I am representing the Claude Mustangs T-ball team. When my daughter started T-ball, I was her coach. So
Aww.
Well,
that's good stuff.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay,
all right, well,
so yeah, so what do we think about the switch now? So we've got a year without having fans, and we've had piped in sound, and now we're going back to in-person fans. Jimmy, what do you think? What is that? Do you think it's going to make a big difference?
I mean, you will still have piped in noise, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
But just knowing fans are there, I think, if anything, you're going to see a higher level from the performers. The wrestlers themselves will be, I think they will just be bursting at the seams. I think that's going to be the biggest difference.
Corey?
I agree. I definitely agree. I think they're going to really try to put on a good show. I think the fans can be kind of fickle in the WWE, and they might cheer for who they're supposed to boo for and all that stuff. So we'll see if that piped in noise even makes a difference over the fans.
Oh, yeah, because I guarantee you right now, my prediction is they're going to boo the snot out of Bad Bunny.
Oh, I think so too.
All right. Well,
they might cheer on Roman Reigns.
Speaking of that, we'll just jump right into the Saturday night matches, and we're going to just go through each of the matches.
I would like to say, as someone that has been to WrestleMania live, I love the fact that it's now 2 nights, because it is an incredibly long day. You know what I mean? And by the time you get to that main event, I had Lesnar Reigns the first one, and you're just dead. Like, you just don't care about anything anymore. Your butt hurts. You're hungry.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
So splitting into 2 nights is good.
You think that when it goes back to, if there is a normal, it's going to continue as 2 nights, or do you think they'll eventually go back to a single night?
No, I bet they'll keep it at 2. They're going to get way more money. I mean,
yeah.
Same price. People are going to buy. I mean, I'm thinking about going next year, and we already talked about how we're going to buy for both nights. I mean, I mean, why would you go and not go to both nights?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Okay, well, let's jump into the Saturday matches. So Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE title is, of course, one of the big matches on the first day. There's some talk of maybe they're going to start out with that match because Drew McIntyre.
Sorry, this is what I think of Bobby Lashley. Yeah, Bobby Lashley's terrible. I really hope that they've set this all up for Drew to win again, just so he can have the crowd react. I hope that's what it is. Oh, I pray to the Lord, baby Jesus, that's what it is.
Well, so Drew McIntyre, has kind of been the champion without fans, and so there is some talk that maybe, he will win to be the champion with fans there, or it's possible that he may lose and then, re-win the championship in a few weeks down the road. And,
this
be able
one's
to
hard for
carry
me to
it
call
again. So, Def Chef, what do you think about this match?
I want to see McIntyre win, but like seriously, like he should have been able to do this all in front of a crowd. And he never got to. That was all just taken from him. But would it be the Vince thing to do, or is he gonna be like, let's let Lashley win? I mean, like this one is like the hardest one for me to go. Oh yeah, this is what they're gonna do.
No,
I don't know. Like I really am truly like at a loss. Who knows if they even know who's gonna win? It could be in the earpiece of the ref. The ref may be calling the whole match.
Mm-hmm. If they don't let Drew win this thing, I like the idea for it being the first match. I like the idea of letting him win it. I like the idea of, or throw a real craziness into it, have him lose and then have him win it the next night. Have some sort of way that they're gonna fight again. Have controversy the first night.
Oh yeah, a little dequalification kind of thing.
So
action.
That Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin can't be ringside at this match because they lost the opportunity. What?
Hurt Business is done.
Right.
I know, but so they wouldn't be helping him.
But it could be a big swerve.
Now you have Corbin, who's kind of joining the Hurt Business, maybe. I don't know. So could he be part of this match too? Who knows?
I love the idea if they have a screwy ending tonight or the first night at the main event, and then they announce that they're going to have it again the next night with, with no one allowed or whatever, and he wins it again. I love that idea. So let's hope.
That'd be cool. That would actually be really cool. I'd like that booking for sure.
All right. Well, let's move on to another big match, which is Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's title. I hate
so.
What?
I can't stand Sasha. I love Bianca Belair. So, I have nothing to say about that except for it would make great sense. Sasha, the fans will be behind Sasha. She doesn't need the belt. Bianca needs the belt.
Yes.
Okay. Sasha will still be over no matter what. Give Bianca the belt and build a new star. That's what I say. I
like that for sure. I don't think they've built this match up enough. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere with Reginald. Like he's the key to all this. The stupid sommelier is the key to all these storylines that don't make any sense at all to me. Like I don't get what's going on with the women.
Well, I think Bianca Belair makes a little bit more sense than some of the other people. I think she is a good wrestler and people like her. So I think that, my prediction is that she will win. And she, like you said, Jimmy, that she needs this win more than Sasha Banks does. I mean, Sasha Banks has lost almost all the title matches she's ever had before, so
that's kind of her thing, and they need to get back to that. That's kind of her thing.
Surprise if that happens.
And unless there's a chance Bayley's going to show up or Becky Lynch to show up,
that could be the monkey wrench.
Becky can come back at any time. Bayley for injury is still up in the air, but Becky can come back anytime. You know what I mean? I will not be surprised if Becky shows up at Mania or she shows up at the Raw after Mania. But I don't know. Bianca
crowd pop would be
let's
huge.
Just keep going. I mean, we don't need to talk about Sasha. Everyone will be bored to death.
All right. Well, speaking of bored to death, let's talk about the Bad Bunny versus the Miz.
The only thing that's entertaining about it is that from a business standpoint, you have to respect the Miz for even doing this. Again, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. He is the only one that they could give this to that can carry this match. Him or AJ are the only ones that can go in there with nobody and make this entertaining. And Bunny's gonna win, and the Miz is gonna look like a fool, but the Miz will come out of it completely unscathed. His character will be just fine. He's the only one that can do this. But yes, it's about the dumbest. I mean, it's up there as when Snooki wrestled at WrestleMania. Yeah.
So Damian Priest was, originally supposed to be part of possibly this match as a tag team with Morrison as well. And then Morrison got hurt. So do we think that Damian Priest might be involved in this in any way, or what do you think?
I mean, I would be surprised the Miz will get the advantage and Damian Priest will hit him when the ref's not looking or something.
Yeah, it'll be dirty. It'll be dirty, but it'll be a win.
The only good thing about it is I will enjoy watching the Miz absolutely carry this guy through the match.
But what if he can wrestle?
Well,
what if, like, maybe he's got some indie background? Nobody knows. I didn't even know who he was until he showed up on WWE. I'm not a fan of his music, but my wife knew who he was. I didn't even know who he was.
Dude,
and then he wins a Grammy. Like
Sparkles is hip. Sparkles is hip, man.
She is. She's definitely more hip than I am.
Let me tell you, the biggest shock I remember having at WrestleMania in the last few years is one when I was there live and Zach. When oh man, how do I always forget his name? When Zack Ryder won that tag title or won that ladder match to win the title, I was at that. That was the biggest shock. And then when Ronda Rousey could wrestle, like when she came out,
like she actually could.
Work. Yeah, when she actually could wrestle was the biggest shock. So if Bad Bunny has been training as hard as people say he is and taking it super serious, it won't be shocking if he pulls a Hurricanrana off or something. You know what I mean? But only the Miz can carry this match.
Right. Right. They're probably practicing every night right now.
And the Miz will sell it. And I'm just telling you, Kim, what do you think since you're the host this week? I will say you're a way better looking host than I am. Right, Corey?
Agreed.
Well, thank you. Thank you both. I agree that Bad Bunny's probably gonna win. I mean, you're right. The Miz is the perfect person to do this match, and
if this were 40 years ago, they would have given this match to Ric Flair because he could put anybody over. It's one of those kind of situations.
Well, we were talking
garbage with the best.
We were talking earlier about how WWE kind of lucked out in this situation because Bad Bunny won a Grammy in the middle of the time that he was on WWE. So
it all started with the fact that he's an actual big fan. And he put Booker T in his video just to have him in there. And I mean, like I'm saying, it just hit gold and their shirts were selling like crazy. And it fell in their lap basically. This is a guy saying I'm a lifelong fan and I put a wrestler in my video. And then I won a Grammy, and now, people are tuning in to see him.
Yeah. So, this is one that maybe will bring in a few people who don't normally watch wrestling and, whatever. It's going to be what it is. The match that I am most looking forward to on day one is the Cesaro versus Seth Rollins match. I think that has the potential to be a really good match because they both are excellent wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
Cesaro probably needs the win much more than Seth Rollins does because Cesaro has been kind of put on the back burner over and over and over and over again. And Seth Rollins could definitely come back from not winning this match. But Def Chef, what do you think about this one?
No, that is smart. Exactly what she said. Seth Rollins doesn't need to win. He will be over. Cesaro needs it. He signed a big contract. They told him they wanted him back. He could have left him with AEW, but he didn't. He signed a new deal. Yeah. So let's see if they come through. I am the biggest Cesaro fan in the world. I would love for him to win this match. For them to say he couldn't be the top guy or carry the title, I don't know because I am a wrestling fan, and to me,
that guy can work. Like, he's the real deal. He is so good, and maybe he's like so good that he doesn't even care about winning. Maybe he is just a permanent jobber and like loves it. Maybe he likes to just get paid to do what he does. Who knows? But I mean, everybody wants to win the title, right? Or do they just want a job? I mean,
there are some people that are like that who are.
Yeah, I mean, like, maybe he's just really happy there. Who knows? He gets a lot of TV time. He always has, because he's incredible.
Well, see, that's what people said about Kofi for years, was that Kofi is just happy being where he is. You know what I mean?
Man, they put that title on him. Woo!
And they know every time they put Cesaro in a program or in a match, he's going to do great. I think out of the first night, I'm not going to say that. I'll say that. I'll say that for another one. But yes, I'm with you, Kim. Seth Rollins doesn't need it. Kim's right. Cesaro needs it. I will be actually a fan in this match, wanting Cesaro to win. Well, if he doesn't, and then he wins, and if Bobby Lashley wins, I will come on this podcast right after WrestleMania the first night and just scream and yell about those matches. That's all I'll talk about.
Well, so do we want to make a prediction on how many Cesaro swings that?
Oh man, 30. He's going for 30.
Well,
he's going to set a record.
Bet he does
35, 40.
He'll do 2 different times of about 15 to 18.
Okay. Or do we think Seth Rollins is going to try doing some swings of Cesaro?
Now, I don't like Seth Rollins, but he will sell for Cesaro. He will sell for Cesaro.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, Cesaro. Seth Rollins probably couldn't swing Cesaro. Cesaro is so strong for
CrossFit. Jesus can't swing Cesaro. Come on.
I don't think so.
Now, what's really funny is that, like, I don't really like Seth Rollins. I never really have, but I love the curd stomp. Like, that's one of my favorite. Like, I love that finish.
Yeah, I like that.
That flying knee of his is pretty dangerous, though. That's how he's hurt people.
I'm a big fan of finishers that can just be done out of nowhere. I'm not a fan of finishers that take a setup.
So the RKO is one of those moves. I'm surprised you're not.
RKO is called the Diamond Cutter Lady. Stole it from Diamond
RKO on the back of my shirt. It says "out of nowhere."
I'm saying, I love AJ. I love AJ, but the styles clash. Even the phenomenal forearm; those all have to be set up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I like Ziggler's zigzag. That's why I like Trouble in Paradise. They can just be hit out of nowhere.
Get out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't like finishers. That's what made the stunner so good. You know what I mean? That's what made the super kick so good. You know what I mean? I never liked the pedigree. I never liked the tomb style pile driver. You know,
they take so long to just get him into it.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I'm a big mark for the Superman punch by Roman Reigns. Like, when he hits it right, I love it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love that. When he hits it right, it's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so the match that I am probably least looking forward to on night one is the Braun Strowman, Shane McMahon steel cage match. And this is just the stupidest, most gratuitous match.
Did you skip a match?
Oh, I did. But that's okay. We'll talk about this one and then we'll go back to that one.
Talk about how I agree with you. Shane's gonna jump off a cage or something. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
coast to coast. Blah blah blah.
It's
Shane jumps off the top through a table with his right side elbow.
It's the only reason
match over and over again. I don't care.
It's the only reason that there is this match, and I just really feel sorry for Braun Strowman because it's really not a good look for him. They're really kind of burying him in this match, and I feel bad for him.
I agree. I don't even know why Shane's there. I don't think I think he thinks he's a big draw. It was when he came back and faced Taker, but now like I don't know anybody who is like, I can't wait to watch Shane McMahon in the match. I can't think of anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And this just the
Maybe in
whole
Saudi
thing of
Arabia.
making him, making Braun Strowman like they did the dunce cap, they did the little report card, like the slime, like every single thing about this is just stupid.
I think this is all just to get a Nickelodeon Kids Choice Award. I don't think they give a crap about the match. I honestly think they're going for a Kids Choice Award, and they're just trying to build and bring in kids to watch now and grow their numbers again.
But I don't even think
think it has anything to do with wrestling, unless he really is burying Braun and he's on his way out of the company and nobody knows it yet.
Well, but nobody has said that there's going to be slime involved in this steel cage match, so that doesn't really.
But there already was
either. So
I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I like Shane McMahon, but I've really been. I mean, last year was too much, and people were complaining that there was too much of him, and now he's back, and it just feels like they're just trying to slam him down your throat. And
if we talked about this match for 15 seconds, it's 15 seconds too long.
Moving on.
All right, moving on. Point taken. We have the New Day versus AJ Styles and Amos.
Here's what I'm going to say.
My tag team title.
Here's my prediction. This match will steal the show.
There you go.
Night one, this match will steal the show. I think you have Kofi and AJ who can wrestle with anybody. Right. Okay. Xavier Woods isn't terrible. And I think Amos is going to do more than any of us expect he's going to do. And that's why they've hidden him for so long. And I think they've with how solid those three other workers are, they've rehearsed this thing down to a T. And I guarantee you people are going to be shocked. I would not be surprised if this starts the show and this is the best match of the night. That's my bold prediction for night one. This match will steal the show. And AJ and Amos win the titles.
Chef.
Is it Amos or Omos?
Omos, whatever.
I mean, everybody's getting it wrong everywhere else too, so it doesn't matter, I guess. Yeah, I think this is going to be the one. This is going to be the one that everybody talks about for weeks. It's going to be, oh my God, did you see how great he was? He wasn't just a big dumb oaf. The guy can work and ball. Like, I think this is going to be the one. And with, like you said, everybody else that's in there, I think AJ Styles is the best wrestler in the world. There's the best right now current wrestler on the planet. I think he's better than anybody on the other brand for sure. And then you've got Kofi, who is just as dang good and been doing it for a long time. And I mean, Xavier, which is great too. I mean, like, I think they've been working with this guy over and over. I guarantee, is not just going to come out and stank it up. He's going to rock. This is going to be the match.
Well, sure. I really hope that Amos, whatever his name is, Omos,
the big guy, the new big guy,
going to be awesome. I really, really hope that that happens. And I think AJ Styles and him will win the tag teams because it's just solidifying the New Day's chance to get another title and be that
they're gonna win it and win it.
Billion-time WWE tag team champions.
Billion-time champions. Yeah.
Can't wait for the moment in like 15, 20 years when we're watching the Rumble and all of a sudden we hear Big E go, oh, and everyone's gonna go crazy because they're reunited, and they come out and there's gonna be, put your hands together for your 470th
yes.
You know, but I think I'm actually really looking forward. I'm really looking forward to this match. I think it's going to shock everybody. Will not be surprised if it's the first match of the night.
I don't know about that one. I don't know. I think they're going to dangle it. I think they're going to wait on it. I really think they're going to open up with Drew.
We go with night one. I really think I think besides on top of that, night one, I don't know if you'll have any big surprise. I will take her make an appearance. Will Austin make an appearance. I think you'll see somebody. Shawn Michaels will show up. He'll be in something. And then the next night you'll have Cena show up or The Rock show up the next night. Because Sunday night's still going to be the mega night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
I
so
think it's gonna be The
we'll
Rock.
talk about that here in a
Sure.
minute with the matches, with the upcoming
I
matches.
Election. We're only excited for 2 of the 6 matches.
I know.
Pretty much, yeah. We're all in agreement on that.
Well, I'm excited to see what the Miz does with Bad Bunny, but really, Cesaro, Rollins, New Day, AJ, and Amos, those are the only ones we're excited about.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I believe that there are a few more that I may be excited about on night 2. So let's talk about that. First off, the big thing that I was a little bit upset about in the beginning was that they have made the title match, the main event, into a triple threat, and I'm not real happy about that. So we've got Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan for the Universal title. And I was afraid that this was going to happen.
I saw it coming a mile away.
Now I think that I know the reason that it's like that. But Jimmy, what are you thinking about this match? And what do you think about it being a triple threat?
Well, I think it's great. I think it's even better to have a triple threat. I mean, triple threats are great when they're done right. You have 3 great workers. You have the Edge, big match for the first time in forever. Roman is on a high right now. I agree with Def Chef that the crowd is going to cheer him big time.
Yep.
I think Daniel Bryan, I think Reigns wins this hands down. I don't see that not happening.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know, man. Like this one is like, I think they might give it to Bryan. I don't know. Like, you would think that Reigns should win this one with no problem, but it's a triple threat. It could be. This is the big swerve match here. This is
okay. So let me tell you my opinion. So I feel like Daniel Bryan was brought into this match for one of 2 reasons. He's either going to win the match or he's going to take the fall for the match. And so it will be a situation where possibly Edge pins Daniel Bryan and wins the championship, but Roman Reigns, wasn't able to do anything about it. So it wasn't him losing, and it keeps him strong as the head of the table. And then you can continue the Roman Reigns Edge feud beyond WrestleMania if you want to do that. If Daniel Bryan wins, I mean, there's a possibility that will happen, but I really don't think so. I think it's going to be Edge that wins. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I believe Edge is going to win. Roman Reigns doesn't need to win this match to keep his place at the head of the table. I think that Edge could win and they could still go on.
I disagree with that whole place at the edge
I
of the table thing.
I think that this will be the first time I've ever really said that if Daniel Bryan wins, people will be disappointed. I think people would rather see Edge win it. I think you keep this title on Roman all the way to next WrestleMania, have one of the longest reigns ever for a title, and then him and The Rock, go at it. Like, I think he stays the head of the table.
Well, forever. The only thing that I think about Roman Reigns winning for this is that he hasn't really won anything cleanly. So,
he's a heel.
I know, but he at some point has to win. If he's going to be the champion for a year, he's got to win clean at some point.
No, never. He can win dirty the whole damn year. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Title for 20 years, never winning clean.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am
Bruno
excited.
San Martino.
I will say I am very excited about this match. I think it'll be a good match. Edge looked like he hadn't lost a step. Daniel Bryan can carry anybody. Reigns will hit all of his high spots. I've been a firm believer for Reigns for years. When everyone was dogging him, I still love them. He puts on tremendous matches, no matter who he's against. He's a very, very underrated in-ring worker. But honestly, this is the big, out of every match, this is the hardest one to call. He's going to win.
Yeah.
And I agree on that.
I'm a
signing.
huge Roman Reigns fan, and I would not be disappointed if he won. And honestly, I think he deserves to win at WrestleMania because he has had, some ups and downs as far as WrestleMania is concerned, and I feel like he's been a workhorse for so long that he probably deserves to win. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And I think that this is going to be a really great match.
I would love if he wins and then The Rock comes out but doesn't turn on him. Like The Rock just comes on and actually celebrates with him and then turns on him later, because everybody will be wanting it at that moment.
Yeah.
And it won't happen. So, we'll see what that happens.
That's exactly what Corey and I were talking about earlier, was having him just like make a brief appearance coming on. And I think you're right. Don't come out against him at this point. Just kind of, go along with it. And then later on,
walk away.
Later on, have the turn. And
if the WWE and even Dwayne Johnson as a person doesn't find a way to have The Rock against Roman Reigns next year, something's wrong. Like The Rock, either he really
has. This whole thing has to be a setup for that. This whole head of the table thing has to be a setup for that. If it's not,
unless his insurance really says he cannot wrestle, but I think it's only when he's not filming. But it's got to set up for that. I'm excited for that match, and it could be a year away.
While we're on this topic, do we feel that maybe Jimmy Uso will come back at all during WrestleMania?
I think the best thing would be if he came back and then helped Edge or Daniel Bryan. That's what I want to see. I want to see him. I don't want him to see him to go, because I want to see him not join this table and feud with his brother.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Jimmy Uso?
That'd be so good.
If Jimmy Uso goes out and thinks you're going to help him, and then he super kicks Jay, people would go bananas. That would be the biggest pop. I'm goosebumps now. That would be the biggest pop of the night.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be great.
My hope now is that someone.
All right, I'm going with you called it, and that's what's going to happen. And if it don't, I'm going to be disappointed. That's the best one.
I'm a huge Usos fan, and I want them to be back together because I think that they are one of the best tag teams in WWE. So I just want them back together.
I think in history they are, but there's too much money in them feuding at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
Now is someone from the WWE will come across this podcast and hire me. Hey,
there you go.
And then don't forget about your co-hosts at that point.
Those guys don't.
Yeah, no, don't worry about me and Corey are tight. We're good.
Okay, so we have a women's match between Asuka and Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's title.
Why?
And this I feel like this one's pretty cut and dry. Jimmy, what do you think about it?
All we need to say is I'm the biggest Asuka fan in the world. I love her. She's going to be one of the best women wrestlers of all time.
But Rhea Ripley wins.
Rhea's going to win, and everyone knows it. And it's a sad thing because Asuka is a beast, and she's hilarious and extremely underrated.
Yep, I agree with that. I think that
she had a longer run than Goldberg.
I think this is the most clear-cut match of all of them. I don't know how Rhea Ripley, could lose this match. They have to build her up right away, or else, it's just not going to work. And she looks like a badass. She plays the part, and I just don't see how she can lose.
She's oddly attractive.
Agreed.
But she's
Corey has let me know in very subtle ways. I'll point out that
she's definitely not ugly. There,
bad looking woman.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious! All right,
I'm in trouble.
Okay, so The Fiend versus Randy Orton. This match, So there's a lot of questions for me in this match. I feel like I'm kind
Wait,
of
first, hey, will it be a match or will it be a cinematic match?
well, I don't know how they
I
can
don't
do a
know.
cinematic match with the live crowd. Like it would be, I mean, having been to WrestleMania, don't you think it would be disappointing to come there and then watch at least part of the match on the screen
Depends
rather
on how
than
depends on how good the match is.
I don't know. I mean, I don't I think for it to be good, it has to almost be a cinematic match, but I don't
See,
know.
that's how much I care. That is called I'm gonna go fix a snack in the other room.
Maybe it works its way out of the stadium and into the back, and then the cinematic stuff happens that was already pre-recorded, and then it stumbles back into the ring somehow, so they can incorporate both or something. I mean,
Yeah,
they could
that's
do
a
something like that.
possibility. That's a possibility. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the way they brought the Fiend back. I'm not like I was hoping for kind of a different outcome for this whole thing. I kind of thought that they were going to go down the road where Randy Orton was going to be like a possessed person like of the Fiend, and I was like kind of excited about the idea of that happening. But but the Fiend coming back and being the burnt Fiend and all of I don't know. And the other thing is like, is Alexa Bliss going to be involved in this match? Because
That's the
she's been
only
involved in everything.
that's the only thing that makes this match even remotely. I'm bored listening to Kim talk about it because this match is gonna be so boring. Mark my word, it's going to be the worst.
So this is going to be the stinker of the WrestleMania, you're saying?
I don't know. I just don't like either person, so it's hard to get excited about it.
Yeah.
For me, it'd be more exciting if he came back as the guy with the lantern, and that'd be more exciting if he came back as the sweaty lantern guy. I mean, that would be exciting for me.
Def, do you have thoughts on this one?
The only thing that would make this exciting is if Alexa turns on Bray and enjoys Randy Orton. That's the only thing that would make this exciting.
Okay, I like that. We're gonna go.
But you can't have every match be a swerve. Why are we still talking about this match?
Well, that would be because a couple of us actually like Randy Orton a little bit. There you go.
Do you have anything else to add?
I'm good.
I really want to tell him to take your shirt off, but that's really inappropriate.
Yeah, let's move on. So this next match is one. Well, nice. Actually, the next two matches are going to be the ones that I could really care less about. And the first one of those is Big E versus Apollo Crews for the IC title.
I think this is the match that steals the show. Like Big E, oh my gosh, how do you not see Big E as a future Universal Champion?
I love Big E, but I completely hate this Apollo Crews character.
Apollo Kingston, Kofi Cruz with his new fake accent.
At least Apollo has a personality now. All he used to do is smile. The guy is a freak of nature.
It is an annoying personality though. And like Big E has beat him multiple times already. To the point to where Big E is like, no, we're not wrestling again because I keep beating you. And Apollo Crews just comes back to the ring and starts beating him down like that means something. And it really doesn't.
Fight. I mean, you're going to put Baron Corbin in there. No one wants to see that. What they should have done if they listened to the Phenom Jimmy is they should have done a Big E Shinsuke feud because that match would be phenomenal.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
But
you have to say.
I still think this match has the potential to steal the. I don't think it is. I think the match that we're going to talk about next is going to shock everybody with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. How could they have a bad match? Like, they can't.
No, I think you're right. I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is going to be a great match. but
Okay,
we've
but
seen
let's finish this one first. Do you have anything to say, Dev Chef, about this match?
I'm kind of indifferent on this one. I really don't. I don't like what they're doing with Big E, and I don't like what they've done to Apollo Crews. So, like, I'm not happy. I think the fake accent thing. I mean, they're trying to sell like, no, this is my real accent. I've been faking it all along. Like, come on. It is. It's total comedy. And Big E's, he is a comedy guy, but man, let him get serious a little bit. He's, for a big body muscle guy, he actually can move and do things, and they don't let him
match,
do it.
If it was serious, it could be a really good match.
Right. And that's the thing. I think with the writers, or maybe even Big E himself, is that it's so easy to fall back on him being funny because they know he can do it instead of, I mean, I'm telling you, Shinsuke would have been a better match because Shinsuke, could have been one to make him rise to a different level. I think, if this had been, if I would want, and I don't like Triple H, but if I had to see Triple H do a match, this would have been a good match to put him in. To have Triple H try to raise Big E's game, But yeah, I'm not going to be surprised if Apollo wins. But I think it'll be better than Kim's getting credit for it.
All right. Well, let's move on to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And, we've had the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn rivalry before. We've had them paired together, as best friends and then against each other. And the only problem that I have with this match, because I love KO, I used to love Sami Zayn. He's kind of annoying to me at this point, but the whole, conspiracy thing that he's going on is, I don't know, slightly
his
entertaining.
Communist leader look.
Slightly entertaining.
Looking like Raul.
The only problem I have with this one is that, they didn't have any build up for it. It was just like, let's just throw these two in there because, we know that they know how to work together and we can do it last minute. So let's make a match with them. And that's the problem that I have with this match.
She's exactly right. The one thing I will give Sami Zayn props is there's no one that looks like him on WWE TV. He stands out. You know what I mean? He can talk. It will be a good match. It may not be the best match ever. What I would like to see happen, though, and I don't, in a perfect world, this would happen. But if somehow Jericho showed up and helped KO win after that whole Jericho KO thing, because of the whole podcast that's happening, I don't see it ever happening. But if he came out and helped Jericho or helped KO win, first of all, at this point, I think Jericho showing up at a WrestleMania would get a bigger pop than CM Punk coming back. Okay,
like AEW all the way.
Right.
I think that would be awesome.
If they want to make everybody stick around and watch that podcast, have Jericho show up at any point in the show. Just have him backstage showing him. That would be enough to make everyone freak out. But yeah, the match would be good. It won't be great. And 20 years.
And then I would say this: it's all a work, and I'd be right.
20 years from now, no one's going to remember this match. Just like 20 years from now, no one's going to remember the Big E Apollo Crews match.
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, and then another match that nobody probably will remember is the Riddle versus Sheamus match that started with a scooter beatdown. And then
I could care less about this match.
And then
why?
Sheamus,
the only thing I look
for, beaten Riddle, and now Riddle wants his revenge. So
right. The only thing I like about this match is the fact that Riddle's going to jump and kick off his flip-flops at one time. That's the only thing I find entertaining is when he does that. I would like to think that this is the veteran, being a team player, doing a solid to kind of build up the younger guy, or it could be You know, but either way, no one cares. It doesn't.
It could be a total
mean,
beatdown.
In order for anybody to care about Riddle, he really has to have a total change of gimmick. You know, like it's.
I think he has the potential to be.
No.
Like,
I disagree.
You like the new Santino Marella or the new R-Truth, and can we talk about how it's a shame that R-Truth is not on WrestleMania card?
Oh, I'm sure that the 24/7 championship will show up twice.
I love R-Truth.
Maybe 3 times with him in a backstage skit.
No,
he'll be on there. Oh,
I really hope not. But I feel that Riddle is a good. I feel like he's a good wrestler, but they're just making him seem so stupid. Like even for like he could have a character that's similar to the one that he has, just not as dumb as dirt. Okay, like I feel like
the same thing with
holding him back.
The same thing with Sami Zayn. No one looks like Riddle. Lacey's different. Lacey's not a big jack. He's not a big jacked up. You know, I mean, the thing about Sheamus though, he looks like Beaker from the Muppets on steroids.
Okay, so are there any rumors that anybody's heard about things that may happen or things people are talking about? I did hear that Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode may be facing off with the Street Profits for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. They weren't scheduled for a match. They did ask Sonya Deville for a match, and she said that their time was going to come. So maybe this will be the time. It might be on the pre-show, but there's a possibility that this match could be added. And in this one, I don't know. Like,
that could be a show stealer for sure.
I mean, you know, Dolph and Robert Roode, I really wish they weren't a tag team, but I don't know. I like the Street Profits, so this one I'm not really sure about.
The only thing that I think will happen, I think we'll have an appearance from, I mean, it's in Tampa. We'll have an appearance from Hogan. We'll have an appearance from Cena. I'm not a Hogan fan.
Hogan is one of the hosts.
Right. So Hogan, Cena will show up. The Rock will be there. My biggest prediction for a rumor is that Becky Lynch is involved somehow.
Yeah. I want to see Becky.
Or that Jimmy Uso turns on Jay. We might as well call it now.
I mean, we still have the possibility that Charlotte may come back too. She was supposed to be in WrestleMania. She, lost her match to Rhea Ripley. Well, she didn't lose the match, but she was taken out of the match and Rhea Ripley was put in her place. So there's always a chance that she could show up and do something on this one. And I know you're making faces. I'm not a Charlotte fan either, but she does have a lot of fans. So that's a possibility. So after going over the 2-day schedule, Jimmy, what is your which one do you think is going to be the match to steal the show for WrestleMania as a whole?
I think Daniel Bryan, Edge, and Daniel Bryan, Edge, and Roman will be the match that everybody comes out saying is amazing. I think New Day against Amos and AJ will be the most surprising match. But I think that triple threat will be the last thing on WrestleMania, and it will be the match everyone's talking about. Like, if you can't go wrong with those three in the ring, with Paul Heyman involved, with the outside of
right,
with the Usos involved. I just don't see how that can go wrong. That'll be the best match of the weekend.
Hey, Def Chef, what are your thoughts?
I'm right there with Jimmy on that one. I think those two matches, I might give it a little more lean towards the AJ match being the one, but I think they're both going to be great matches.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Roman Reigns, Edge, and Daniel Bryan match. I'm still interested in the Cesaro match and Seth Rollins match. I think that's going to be one that I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
And I kind of am interested in the Fiend Randy Orton one just because I want to see where they're going to take it. So that's, how is that going to play out? And that's why I'm interested in that one. So we will be back on the eve of night 1 and also night 2, recording our reactions to those shows, and they will be up shortly after that, as soon as possible. So thanks for tuning in, and let us know in the comments what you think is going to happen at WrestleMania, or what matches you are looking forward to, and we will see you again soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.